everyone. Let's just settle into our meditation posture. Feet flat on the floor. Right now I'm sitting in a chair, so that's where my feet are. And if your feet are, you need your lower leg and your upper leg to be at right angles to each other. So you're not, it kind of just changes the angle of the spine or the way you're sitting if your legs are kind of hanging down. So sacrum upright. Imagine your pelvis is like a bowl of water, and you want to keep the water from spilling, and don't want the water to spill out. So you want everything nice and straight. If you are sitting in a cross-legged position on a cushion or on a couch, make sure you're comfortable, but try not to be leaning back into like this, into the chair or the couch. And perhaps you can, if you are injured or unwell, you could perhaps put a cushion behind you so you're sort of sitting upright. So like this, just pop in here. And there you are. And it kind of just supports you as well. Hands in the meditation mudra. So the right hand in the left with the thumbs touching. And now just imagine your spine is made of pearls of light. Perhaps you could imagine each vertebrae, each little joint made of a light pearl, starting from your coccyx, going all the way up through the crown of your head and just lengthening, very gently, just lengthening. Head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, relax the jaw. And if your eyes were open, you would imagine that you would be looking at a spot about 2 inches ahead of you on the ground. And let's just go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, and the forehead and the eyes, the cheeks and the nose, and the jaw, and the mouth. You're going to have the lips slightly apart. And make sure your chin isn't up. You don't want the chin to be too far forward, but you just want to be nicely balanced, the back of the neck long. If your head is tipped back, it creates agitation in the mind, as they say. And go to the back of the scalp, relax the back of the scalp. And as you do that, you notice your ears, your temples relaxing. And your face kind of relaxes further. Back of the neck, the shoulders. And if there are any spots in your back that are stiff, sore, and pain, just maybe draw attention to that. Just relax there. A very dear friend of mine who's a monk in Singapore said to me the other day, sometimes old injuries feel lonely, so you need to give them a little bit of love and attention. I really like that. And come to the front of your neck, your throat, relax your chest and the belly, your arms, hands, fingers, legs, feet and toes. Just wriggle your toes a little bit, just let them relax. And bring the mind to the breath, just breathing in and breathing out. You might notice this sensation of the air flowing in over the nostrils, slightly cooler, and as you're breathing out, the air is slightly warmer. If there's any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with any attachment or push them away with aversion. They're just part of your environment. Just allow them. And then as your thoughts arise and fall, again, just allow those thoughts to be there. Try not to follow the thoughts or make up a story. or have opinions about them. Just keep the mind and the breath. So we motivate. So we're going to do this practice this evening to purify our negative karma, to pull out the seeds before they ripen into suffering. So we can avoid having unnecessary obstacles in our lives, so we can be a benefit to others. It's very hard to help other people when you've got a lot of difficulties in your own life. So now, just as a reminder, there's no negativity that cannot be purified. So what we're engaging in here is a psychological process. So we create negativity with our mind. We can also create positivity with our mind. And so we're purifying ourselves this evening, this purification practice. We're doing it within the context of the four opponent powers. So the first is the power of regret. So just sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, in all past lives. And you can think of specific actions of your body. So maybe something happened today, something you did, something you said. And again, to remind us that the reason that we do regret is based on this logic of karma. So any harm that we've caused to others, we are going to necessarily experience in the future as some kind of suffering. And so any suffering we're experiencing right now, any obstacles we're experiencing right now, we understand how uncomfortable and how difficult it is. It just takes up time. Uncomfortable, unpleasant. We don't want any more of that. So we're sick of suffering, and we also regret all the anger and attachment that's in our mind. That is the cause of why we harm others. So I think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So there's we come to the second of the four opponent powers, the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva from the crown of your head. So Mary's just bringing up this image. So this image is, this is a tanka. But what we want to imagine is this sort of this three-dimensional image, like a hologram on the crown of our head. And it's made of light. And we have this beautiful Vajrasattva on the crown of our head. And you can imagine this is the mind of your guru manifesting in this form for your benefit. So if you don't have a guru, you may have a spiritual teacher, trusted mentor. This person, the mind of this person on the crown of your head. So we're not asking Guru Vajrasattva to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva above. Oh, sorry, we'll go a little bit further. He's got this beautiful face. He's got these radiant eyes, his lotus-like eyes. And they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and for all sentient beings around you, for everyone on this Zoom. He's got this black hair held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, the left holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, symbolizing enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. So I'll just say a little prayer of refuge. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So there's another little section to this second opponent power, and that's compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of maybe someone you've harmed recently, today or yesterday, last week, in the past, and then in general, all beings perhaps we have harmed since beginningless time. The ants we accidentally washed down the sink or the drain, the fly we spotted, the mosquitoes we killed. And remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because they're going to suffer as a result of the harm that you've done to you. So you think you must purify for their sake. So here we come to the power of the remedy. And this is the actual medicine doing the practice. So what I will do tonight, I'm going to do for each of the visualizations of the body, speech, and mind, and then for the, purifying the imprints, I'm going to do 3 times slowly. And this is just to give people a chance who are finding the mantra a little bit too fast. So if you've been doing it with me for a while and you are able to happily do 7, please go ahead and do at your own pace. And I'm just going to do, tonight, I'm just going to do 3 mantras fairly slowly, and maybe 4, but we'll see when we get to. Okay. So here, you imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful white nectar, sort of coming quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. You can imagine it keeps coming, and it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of that kind of inky liquid. And don't think that this liquid or this kind of smoke pollutes anything. You don't breathe it back in. It just disappears instantly. So just recite the mantra. It disappears into space. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawa Siddhi Mimpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Abhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dino Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawa Siddhi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Me Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Mimparyatsa Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mimparyatsa Sawa Kama Sutsame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Now be delighted. All the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified. And think that there's no way that you could do anything but be a benefit to others from now on with your body. So just imagine that anytime anyone sees you, just walking down the street, coming into the office, anyone in your home, the minute they see you, they're just filled with confidence and love, and it's of enormous benefit to them. So next is the purification of speech. So again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters quite forcefully your crown, filling your entire body, and this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and it just kind of overflows, this kind of yucky mucky kind of stuff, kind of gunky, flows over the top of your head and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just as LAMA YESHE says, when you turn on the tap in a sink, fill up a dirty glass, all the junk in that glass comes to the top and overflows. So imagine that all the gossip, and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking about others behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you, well, this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Suto Kayo Mebowa Supo Kayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Anorakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimparyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Excuse me. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Now again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine that's not possible, that you could do anything other than be a benefit to others with your speech. Someone hears you talk, hears you speak, whether it's over the phone or in person, it's an enormous benefit to them. They feel blissful every time they hear your voice. How amazing that would be. And just to remember, the main activity of the Shakyamuni Buddha was speech, all these teachings we receive. So it's incredibly beneficial if we can tidy our speech up. And the purification of the mind, Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of laser light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. So just as LAMA YESHE says, when you turn on a light in a room, the darkness is instantly dispelled. So now just imagine as that light hits your heart chakra, the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled. All our attachment, our neediness, anger and violence, depression and resentment, wishing to harm others, all our jealousy, bitterness, completely dispelled. Not one atom left as the light hits your heart. And we recite the mantra as we visualize this. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpeyata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mempayata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Hoa Bhagawan Sarva Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Membrayata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Hoa Bhagawan Sarva Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Now think, be delighted. All your delusions, which are the source of your own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. They're gone. They're finished, disappeared. Nothing left. And think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness, wisdom, forgiveness, bliss, compassion. So next is the purification of the negative imprints of our body, speech, and mind, just our imprints. So this time you can imagine light and nectar coming at the same time, or you can imagine the previous 3 visualizations, either all simultaneously or one after the other. But that's kind of a bit busy, so just do the best we can. So we're just visualizing light and nectar, and we're purifying even the subtlest imprints of negativity from your mind. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Membrayata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarva Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sutame Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sara Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dino Patita Dido Mebowa Sutokayo Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anurakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Memprayata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva dino patita, dito mebowa, sutokayo mebowa, supokayo mebowa, anarakto mebowa, sawa sidi mimpayata sawa kama sutame, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now we feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in our mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve. So it's the fourth step in the purification process and is such a crucial one, this determination not to harm with our body and speech. And so without this determination, we're going to keep doing the same old things, following the same old habits. So this determination, this aspiration to not harm again is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So just remember, as Lama Rinpoche says, everything exists on the tip of the wish. So it's an aspiration. So here we're going to make a decision, make a determination. So perhaps there's something you would like to work on, something that happened today. Maybe that you're having thoughts of self-doubt even, or you're taking things a little bit, being a little bit sensitive about things. So maybe we can try not to come down on ourselves for 5 seconds, or if we catch ourselves, maybe we say, okay, I'm not going to think this again about myself. Try and think of something more positive instead. So whether it be for half an hour or overnight while you're asleep, or 5 minutes, just make a decision. I won't talk about this person. I won't kill that ant. I will refrain from doing things that are harmful towards others and towards myself. So I don't continue to create these negative karmas, these seeds that can ripen at any moment. So this determination not to harm again, this is what gives us the courage and the strength to change. So think, imagine, Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us. So wanting to merge with your mind, he melts into white light and absorbs into you through the crown of your head. Just kind of dissolves into your body. And you think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So just at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little moment. So maybe it's looking at all phenomena as emptiness, as empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can think of things as being dependent upon other things in order for them to have to happen. Or you can just think simply, because of the way my body is structured, I see things, I view things, I understand things perhaps differently to other people. And perhaps because of that, that's not really the way things actually exist. The way I see them may not be the way they exist. And this is just to sort of try and break down these kind of concrete ideas we have about things and people, places. So next, we can dedicate all the merit we've created this evening with this purification practice, all the positive energy, by thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings as quickly as possible. Now we could perhaps, okay. So the long life prayer of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Lamas of Yeshe, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serves the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjanath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, savior of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And then for our precious Geshe Sherem, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path you're on, the unequal guide, please live a long and stable life. Okay.